Jones. Yo, what's going on? Tay Money's in the building. We got an interesting market. That's all I could say. I want to say down, want to say up. Could get both. Could get one. All right, so this is a very interesting environment. Good morning, Tanny. Tanny has arrived. The party has started. Right, so it's a lot of factors being factored in right now. I would say to start off, to give a good context to what's going on in the market, is a lot of chop, right? I don't know if you remember the slap chop. That's what's been happening to the market all week. Chopped up, and you could see on this 4-hour chart, this was this whole week here, right? Just this section to this section, you could see is a 4-hour chart, but it's a slight downtrend. You got moves down, moves up, moves down, moves up, moves down would be the next one, right? And before that week, which was last week, straight sideways chop. Now you could see the week started here of last week, and if you look at this wave that started the week, this is the low at like 178, and we went all the way up to about 585. So if we're looking at this past 2 weeks, you could say we've been trading in between this range the whole for entirely 2 weeks. You could say the same week we did close above that range, right? So this is the wave that I'm taking into consideration, 585.27 from October 14th, right? If you just draw a line across, you could see that this candle here, 2 days later or 3 days later, actually closed above it, which gave some validation to the upside. Doesn't mean we're going, it confirmed it, but it gave it validation, right? And there's differences, right? You could have a direction validated but not confirmed that we're going to move in that direction. And that's what we have here. We validated the upside, but don't really have any movement, no trading above it, right? Where you're pretty much using this area as resistance, which is creating that narrative for the downside, right? And if we was to go down, I would expect more bearish activity in terms of the move down, but we're getting a lot of mixed in bullish activity with it, which is making it tougher to really rule out the upside. So it's interesting because I already had a target for SPY in the 600s. If you watch my channel, you already know that. And I'm still with it. I'm not gonna lie. Like I'm still bullish, overall bullish, but I'm trying to be humble and make sure that I am staying aware of both directions. So that's the situation, right? The context is that we've been in chop. We have reasons for going up, we have reasons for going down, and the market really isn't telling us, it's giving us reasons for both, pretty much, right? And it's like, hey, you want to take your pick early, or you want to wait and see what the market gives you. Now, starting out with the trades this morning, we have one trade, micro strategy, right? Notice that it was breaking through a level, right? That we have here. Where did this level come from? Well, we could switch our chart to the 15. Now, taking a look back at the previous 2 weeks, you can see on this day, this Friday, we made a crazy high. And then Monday last week, we opened up at a new all-time high. Right? So I want you to see that after that, we had a crazy pullback, right? You could have made some insane money on puts and curled back up. Now this created like a nice little cup, nice little cup. And then ever since that cup, ever since all of this crazy movement up, crazy movement down, we had another nice move up. Now, ever since then, that put MicroStrategy on a lot of people's eyes because they seen this move going up, right? This was on this Friday into Monday. This was insanity, right? 189 all the way up to 227, right? That is insanity. So it took a relief, which is healthy for a trend, right? Being that you already made that pullback, then that says we're in position to make a nice push up, which is what we started here Friday going into Monday this week and pretty much chopped around Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and here we are on Thursday, right? Notice before it gave us that move up today, we had a crazy move down. Where do we have a move down to? We had a move down to our demand zone here on this 15-minute chart. So this is it's a lot of plays, a lot of things happening in this one chart. I could explain so much. I could explain trades we miss, trades to come, different conditions, different levels, right? But one big thing to keep in consideration when looking at micro strategy is what is affecting it, right? And the reason why I was able to get in was because I know what affects it, right? The better you know, this goes for everything, really. The better you know yourself, the better you could operate in a world with us. I would say less stress, and you'll be on your purpose because you know yourself, and things will be working for you. Now, same thing in the market. If you know your stocks, if you know what affects them, then you will have less stress and you'll be better off on your purpose. But if you don't know, then that's what creates stress. That's what creates anxiety because you don't know what's affecting what. Why is things moving up? Why is things moving down? What's going on? Right? So we got to slow down and think about, what is this stock? What is the company? What's going on? What affects it, right? Now, MicroStrategy, the biggest thing is connection to crypto. I talked about it before. But whenever Bitcoin moves, then you could see a move in, what do you call it, MicroStrategy. So this is Bitcoin 1 hour chart. You can see this demand zone that was drawn. All right. It's crazy. This demand zone came from like the most random wave, right? See this big wave, waves up, waves up. Specifically, this wave is what created this demand zone, which was respected pretty much all last week. Or was this week? 22nd, 23rd. Yep, this week. And yesterday had a crazy move down. So it was like, hey, we was respecting this before, but now we're not respecting it. But then overnight, was this overnight or was this afternoon? After this big move, we had a nice move back up above that zone. And if you just look at some price action, this is just simple 101, right? You got the level here, the level here holding as support here. So this is a resistance that was created from that move up here, right? I just drew it. Why did I draw the line at the bodies of the candles and not the wicks of the candles? Resistance turns into support, right? Well, yeah, let me answer that question. Why did I draw it there? It's more preference. I could draw a line at the top, very top, but I guess looking back, I could see that the price jabbed through this area, and it looks like it wanted to respect this line, or at least test this line where the body is rather than just the top, right? You could draw the top as well, but you got to just use your discretion to know when to use which, right? And that's that. Now looking at the SPY, Tay said inverted head and shoulders. Which one? Which stock or which market was you looking at that inverse? Let me see. So since MicroStrategy works on Bitcoin, and it's also in the stock market, right? For Bitcoin, you want to watch Bitcoin. For stock market, you want to watch the S&P 500. So if both of these are moving up, then that is a pretty good sign for MicroStrategy. Why is that? Because MicroStrategy is pretty much like the stock market is his mommy, and then Bitcoin is his daddy, and the baby is MicroStrategy. So whatever either those two does, the baby will be affected. And man, I got to make a whole video just about MicroStrategy and why I believe it's maybe the best stock on the stock market. And you got to take into consideration everything, like the time we're in, the transition, the it's a lot. And I need to just write all my notes down and just roll through them in a quick video. But yeah, it's a lot happening. So let's go back to Bitcoin. Take Money said inverse head and shoulders on Bitcoin. So I definitely see this is the head. This is like the right shoulder and left shoulder. And then, you could say this is a shoulder here. So yeah. Now, where do you want to draw that neck? You could draw that neck. Something like that. Something like that, right? Like a little diagonal. So this is like a trend line, right? Notice resistance, resistance, resistance. Broke out, came back down to test. Uh, it did come back down to test the area, but you know, it's different variations to the way how price could come back down to retest it. And usually you'll see some red candles coming down to test it and then green candles following up, but we just haven't had that much time in the market yet to see it on a 1 hour chart because we just got that breakout. Maybe if you go on a 15, you might be able to see. Yep, there you go. So just what I did is I went down to a lower time frame and I was able to see the red candles that actually did come down to confirm this area as support. And now you're seeing a beautiful green candle going up. And that's just the same concepts that happen over and over in the market. If we're able to understand it, if we're able to remember it and able to apply it, then, you know, we'll have an easier time in the market. If we don't, then we're going to continuously be trying to figure things out. Doom, doom, doom. MicroStrategy. He said over 130. You're missing a whole $100 off of that, Tay Money. MicroStrategy is over 230. Crazy. Crazy. Now it's interesting because Tesla had earnings, right? Tesla had earnings last night. And it did really good. I wasn't playing Tesla. I'll tell you that. I was stuck, right? I thought it was I seen reasons for it to go up and reasons for it to go down. And it was like dead even. Slightly to the upside. I had a edge, but it just wasn't. If I would have lost on it, I wouldn't have felt good because I would have been like, "Oh man, you see, I seen the reasons for the downside. Why you went to the upside?" But it just wasn't my play. But I am in Carvana. Now Carvana, I didn't think about it until this morning, but Tesla is pretty much a car. Well, I don't know if you want to limit Tesla to just being a. It's definitely not just the EV or car company. It's way bigger than that. They got humanoids and everything now. But I don't know. I figured, hey, Tesla's doing good as a car company. That should do good for my swing, right? Carvana. And yeah, we seen a nice push up this morning. I was holding this since yesterday. This was our trade yesterday. It's doing pretty good. So what do we have to say about this? Is above the 15-minute 9 EMA with increased volume and a broken range with room to run up to the next level. What do? Let it move. Right? Let it breathe. That's it. Let it breathe. Inhale, exhale. Right? But like you guys can see how this is an interesting market. And when I say interesting, usually if it's bearish, like totally just bearish, I'm like, oh yeah, could come down today, right? And like you see what the price action, if I want to talk about the price action, we got to look at the price action from yesterday because the whole setup, when I say setup, I mean like they're trying to set you up, right? For something like a trick, right? Not the actual technical setup. But let me see the setup that I'm looking at is yesterday. So notice yesterday, this is a game of somebody banging the walls. Um this is a mental emotional game. So they use I want to say bias. Yeah, they use your bias, but I was watching a video, it's deeper than that. I think they use more of a hypnosis, right? This is how deep the game is. And hypnosis could be so subtle. Hypnosis could be on frequencies. Hypnosis could be from different things, but let's just call it, hey, it's mind games. And long story short, see the move down already kind of gets us thinking to the downside, right? Pretty simple. It doesn't really take much to shift our bias, right? Understand that that move down came after this entire week of chop. My whole thing was, what was you doing during this whole week of chop, right? The easy answer would be, look, after this huge move up, you're using all of this chop to maybe obviously take profits, but gather your short orders, right? For the move down, right? That's as simple. Okay, you go up and you go down, right? Market's been going up for how long? Of course, it has to come down. Also, you have this trend line, right? You see this nice long trend line that was broken. That is also another reason for us to come down, right? So a lot of our minds, maybe I don't know what's the percentage, but I would say at least half of us, more than half, is thinking the market should come down. Or at least if you don't think it should come down, why should it go up even further? So all I'm just saying is there's a lot of pressure um to the downside in terms of retail traders thinking we should go down, right? Now, me understanding that the game sometimes is that simple, sometimes it is that easy, especially in a trending market. But if we look at this here on a 4 hour chart, does this look like a trending market to you? Is this is looks like the exact opposite, right? Exact opposite. It's a bunch of chop. But long story short, taking into consideration the overall target, right? Because I'm getting these targets from a bigger time frame, right? You see MicroStrategy had a nice pullback. Now if you ever want to look at any pullbacks, we want to see the reason why, and then you could look at Bitcoin and see that it's pretty much following the same price movements as Bitcoin. You see there's some increase of volume once we broke through this range, right? Which tells us there's a party happening, right? People showed up and they're ready to do something. And they might do something either way, either direction, but something's likely to happen. And yep, so we got a lot of reasons for the market to go down. At the same time, like I said, we have overall reasons for the market to go up. So even though we're seeing all this bearishness in the short term, in the bigger term, the overall, this bearishness could be serving the overall bullish perspective, right? How is that possible? Well, usually when you pull back, that just helps you gain fuel for the next push up, right? In order to go up further, you have to take a break, pull back, recollect yourself, recollect some orders, and then go back for that next push. So because this push is here, a lot of people took this as start of a downtrend, which I'm not ruling out, but I'm saying that this also aligns with a healthy uptrend, right? And a healthy uptrend, especially when you get so far up into the uptrend, meaning we've been uptrending for weeks, months, all year, it's harder to find the liquidity to continue pushing us up. Meaning that liquidity is like fuel, right? It's like gas. Sometimes gas is easy to find, and sometimes gas isn't easy to find. And this is a situation where the gas isn't that easy to find, and you're gonna have to do some tricks. You're gonna have to do a little bit more searching, a little bit more wiggling, in order to find that liquidity to push the market up even further. So evidence of that is just seeing this 2 week range, which is insanely long. Um, Along with you're seeing these moves down, but then sharp moves back up, right? If we just seen the sharp move down, right, without this big green hammer candle at this key level area consolidation, then I'm with the Bears. I'm just like, hey, let's keep it going. But I just can't rule out the Bulls, right? So that's why I'm just staying light on my toes because you never know where the direction might go, right? And that's power. That is power. Being able to be present and adapt to the changing directions, changing markets, changing conditions. And if you're not able to do that, not able to be mentally flexible, emotionally fluid, right? Especially with your decision making, because that's what really matters at the end of the day. You could be all the above, but if you can't make the decision in the moment, then kind of making the same decisions as you did before, right? Or you're not in control and you're making decisions that you know. Long story short, decisions matter. Right now, market is consolidating, right? It is consolidating on this 15-minute chart. Zoom in, right? After this push down this morning, you can see we've been using this 9 EMA on the 15-minute as resistance. If we go to the 5-minute, we'll be able to see this 9 EMA was used as resistance right here. And then we came right back up to scare some people, right? Maybe scare some bears out of their position, thinking we're gonna go up. And look, and it's looking like it's pushing to the downside. Well, it is pushing to the downside. Will it continue pushing? Is another question, right? We got QQQ in the bottom. This is the 15-minute chart. This one is looking even more uncertain. But keeping it simple, we're under the 9 EMA is bearish, right? If you're playing puts, I ain't mad at you, right? Because if you just simply follow the trend, then not that the EMAs simply tell you what the trend is. Play it, right? You don't necessarily need to know all the ins and outs, all the chess moves, all that could possibly happen, all this and that. If you just follow something simple like a moving average, and that could tell you when things are moving up and when things are moving down consistently. Now, our opinions most of the time are not consistent, so that is something to be aware of. Why is it easy? Why is it better to use the EMA than our opinions? Because the EMA is consistent and our opinions may not be, right? Opinions is formed off of emotion, to a degree, right? So it's a whole psychology thing to it, but just know you need an indicator, some sort of something aside from your own thoughts, your own opinion, to help you know where the direction is going. Especially with these, you got scalps all day, right? You could scalp puts just in that moment. That could have been, I mean, depends on the expiration date, but definitely 20%, 20% move. Take your money and you go. Or the other option which most people do is they hold because they want more money, right? But if you hold, then you'll see moves like this could potentially happen. The money you had starts going away. You thought that, hey, this range here where you're broken, well, it was tested, but the candle couldn't close past it yet. And we just gotta be aware, right? And this is why knowing the range is super important, right? The range, when the price is in the range, it could still reverse, but once it's outside of the range, that's your first sign that it could continue pushing. All right, I'm gonna stop talking for a little bit. Save my voice. So this is the range, guys. This is the range that we're dealing with today. We got the low of the range 578.62 on SPY. It was jabbed through on that last 5-minute candle, so the new low is 578.54. So if the price can't close below that low, we're still in the range. But at the same time, yeah, puts is like I said, puts is not a bad idea. All right. I'll let you guys know when the bulls, the pressure is here. But if the pressure ain't here, I'm more likely to lean towards the bear side.
right? And if, the range is confirming to the downside. But you got to pick and choose your positions. Puts would be great at the top, but not so great at the bottom of the range until the range is broken. All right. Because by the time you think the graph puts here, the market, if it's ranging, it'll go back up to the top of the range. Right. So timing matters. Good old timing. Timing. Think about a lot of people who grab puts early this morning, maybe was in profit and then it pulled back and then it came down and it pulled back. During all this time, right, an hour and a half since the market opened, this premium, any premium is most likely dying out, meaning less premium because of time decay and implied volatility decay as well. Tesla, I do expect Tesla to continue with its uptrend. I think that is it's a whole game being played with Tesla. They already got everyone thinking to the downside with the last event. The event was literally like 2 weeks ago. And this sent that, man, look at this crazy move down. I caught some puts on this move down. I think the day before. I didn't catch the crazy move down, but if you think about it, they literally just had an event, big news or whatever the case is, released some products. Market came down crazy. Another big event, right? 2 weeks later, most likely you're thinking in terms of recency bias, what recently happened, which was Tesla did bad. So what changed, right? In this period of time, they're most likely going to do bad again, especially we're in a downtrend. So follow the trend. So a lot of people, especially all the news, like there's so much news, so much narratives, it just makes you want to grab puts to the downside, makes you think Tesla's going down. So on top of that, if you zoom in on this 1 hour chart, you can see here was a gap. As soon as the price touched this 212, 213 area, right? Let's zoom in. See this huge run. Look at the bottom, 212, 212, right? So this is a little bit of technicals to show you why this move up happened, a little bit of psychology and um, playing around with the retail traders' minds, and just the overall agenda of Tesla that it is showing you it's an uptrend, right? Because it's this huge wave up, huge wave down, but doesn't mean the trend is over because we're still on top of this previous low, right? So that's why I say you have to look through all time frames to have a grip on the market. If you're missing out on looking through your intermediate time frames and only looking at short term like 5 minute time frames, or you're only looking at the bigger like weekly and daily, then you're just missing a piece of the picture, right? I'll say you need three pieces: the big term, the intermediate, which is the middle, and then also the short term. All three could tell you three different pictures, three different perspectives. So UPST, this is a crazy one. Was in this, and then it just made a downtrend, and then crazy move back up. So this is an example of how crazy this market is. I don't know if you guys understand how wacky. That's all I can say. Wacky this market is. Things that it's supposed to do is not doing, and then it's doing the opposite, and then it's doing what it's supposed to do, and then it's not doing it. Yeah, like I say, good luck trading this. Just either you could stay out, right? But notice this chop has been happening for 2 weeks. So even if you stay out for 1 week, come back the next week, it's still there. Take off that week, come back next week, the chop is still there. So it's really taking its time to chop around, and this is where you gotta have where you're gonna learn that you need skills in order to be able to trade this type of action. Um, and usually maybe you have a few stocks moving at least that you could trade and it looks pretty good. But in this during these times, there's been you really got to be good at picking stocks to find the ones that's moving each day. Because most of the time, a lot of these stocks are ranging and pulling back and just as wacky as the SPY has been. So like I said, even when like there's no bulls, I'm not seeing any bullish pressure, right? So I'm more likely to lean um towards puts. So if you are in puts, taking puts, I ain't mad at you, right? Follow the trend until the end, right? And then this is a short-term trend. So you can follow this until you see some bullish pressure, right? That's it. Follow the short-term trend until it shows you it's over. And that will be your first sign to switch to the other trend, which is the uptrend. So trading got to be hard, but the thing that makes it hard is maybe the size of our account because you might not have anything left to trade. Maybe you might not have the luxury of being able to get in, get out, get in, get out. It's a lot, to talk about why things could be tough, but this is how simple the market could be. Look, we've been saying it's a short-term trend. You're right, right? Let's say you're in a trade and you're right. But at what point do you get out? That's the hardest part of trading, in my opinion, right? At what point do you get out? You figured everything out. You did all the work. You followed the formula, but now you're winning. And when do you get out? If you're losing, I think it's easier to know when to get out when you're losing, but it's harder to know when to get out when you're winning, especially because you don't want to get out when you're winning, right? Your emotions, the dopamine is slapping you left and right, saying, stay in this trade. Why? Because there's more money that could be made. Easy, simple. So that's what you got to deal with when you're trading. And that's why trading is tough because people, we all have those emotions. We're all wired for more opportunity. So it's up to us to discipline that desire to want more. So Tesla, like I said, Tesla is looking good to the upside. So I wouldn't be grabbing puts. That's one thing I wouldn't be grabbing puts on. Most other things, not a bad idea. Carvana still above this 50 EMA. Crazy pullback after creating those new highs. But if we're looking at the rest of the market, right? Crazy push up and some good stocks, right? Let's say the best bullish stocks had a nice push up this morning. You could see, well, UPST, Carvana, right? Not necessarily AVGO. I didn't really see anything. Let's see the 15-minute chart. Yeah, AVGO. Nope. Tesla, obviously, nice push up. Not seeing anything here. Pan W is weird. SMCI, let's see. Let's look at the 15. Nvidia, nope. SMCI has some strength in the chips sector, right? Nvidia down, SMCI up. Let's see anything else. We got Coinbase went up, pulled back to the 50 EMA and its key level of support, and that is pretty bullish. If we're looking at Bitcoin, you could take a look at the ETF for Bitcoin, which is called IBIT, IBIT, IBIT Apple, and this is above its previous range and holding 9 EMA. It's really consolidating. I guess trying to figure out what the SPY and what the rest of the market wants to do. But if I draw this resistance right there, you could see the price has not confirmed it wanted to break this range as yet. It broke, but not closed above it on this 15-minute chart. Let's see, maybe on a 5. No, closed there, but this is the new high, right? The new level, because this broke this line, so this becomes a new line that has to be closed above. If you don't understand it, it's okay. Take a one-on-one with me. I'll explain it. And one minute chart, maybe. Yeah, same thing, right? No real candle closes above that level to give us any validation. All right, but now you're starting to see some bullishness. And how was we able to see this move happening? Well, because I just said it came to this 50 EMA after the pull up, push up, and all this and that, right? But just simply being at this 50 EMA in an uptrend is bullish, right? The Candlestick Bible is a good book to read if you want to keep it simple, understand where's good entries and exits for the trend without overcomplicating things, right? Now take a look at SPY. Like I said, it's a nice move down, short term, but we gotta confirm that we want to break this range. So I was telling Tanny just yesterday that learning how to trade the range is all you really need to know in order to be a great trader. Now, of course, I'm leaving a bunch of other great things you need to know out, but it sounds good when I say it, right? All you need to know is know how to trade a range. Very important, because if you could trade a range, if you know how to spot a range, you could spot literally anything, no matter the market, no matter the time frame, no matter what the situation is. So take a day like today. Use this as a learning example for what to learn where you're at in your trading and how you could have taken advantage of this action today, even if it meant staying out of trading, right? Maybe you could have got a scalp. Maybe you could have seen the move happening from before the market even opened. So those are the things, like I said, there's always work to be done. It's always learning to be happening. And once those things are done, you'll only get better and better and better, so that the next time this cycle comes around, you're able to grab it by the neck and say, no, not this time, buddy. Not this time. Dang, I forgot to respond to a text. Tezzy with the hezzy. We're gonna back up a little bit. We'll put Tesla up on the big screen. 300 is all the way off of the screen. It's far. It's pretty far. Well, what I'm seeing, you got highs, highs. You got lows, lows, lows. I'm gonna just draw a line and try to connect. This is a huge move on Tesla. Not gonna lie. You guys gonna connect it with this one. Yep. You could connect this. Just connecting the dots. $260. Tesla at 260. I could see that next week. Maybe even tomorrow. Okay. Now we waking up. Now we waking up at 11:14 on a Thursday morning. Seeing some bullishness. All right, let's check on Bitcoin. Bitcoin. There you go. I'm saying you gotta watch both, right? You had that pullback, right? After breaking the range. Now you're starting to see a nice push up. Now I see all these little wicks there, but it just looks sus, right? Look a little sus. I think that it's vulnerable to be broken through, right? We're in an uptrend, created higher lows, get a little bit of confusion, and then a nice bullish candle to the upside. Yeah. Tesla continuing to go up. I feel like it's going to go up for the rest of the day. What does my opinion mean? Whatever you want it to be. But to the market, it means nothing. So no matter what I think, market's going to do what it wants. Costco. So a lot of stocks, they're been giving you that downward, pretty much downtrend this morning. A lot of consolidation, which makes you think and then think some more to the point where you might be thinking about the other direction. Oh, CPA is in the building. Let's go. My guy, Tim, did not even see. He says SPY bounced right off that trend line we talked about yesterday as a form of new resistance. Yes. Brother Tim showed us the resistance. Let's go to the Bat Cave. All right, we're in the Discord. And yesterday, we have a chart here. Mr. CPA himself shared the chart. And I don't know exactly the level that aligns with this trend line, but we could assume, okay, if this was the day before, I like this line because this is a hard line. This is the top of the demand and then support. So I'm gonna just find the same thing. Day before, yesterday, which was 2 days ago. Zoom out. Right, so it was this support that I was eyeing, and I said, okay, the demand. So this is the one. Whatever the level this is, good resistance, right? It's pretty much 579, 580. And if you look to the right, 580, went all the way up to like 581. Okay. Got a range. And I think that's what also played into it too. Usually when I see trend line break, retest, and then push to the downside, they're not gonna give you, all right, let me take it easy with the 100% guarantees, right? But usually what happens is they don't give you much time to figure things out that things are going to the downside, right? That's just what I noticed. Usually it's a quick move. I've have there are days where they'll keep the market sitting there for a long time, making you think it's gonna hold support and go up, right? So they make you think it's gonna go up and then it goes down. But in this case, they're making it look more like it's gonna go down first, right? So that is what is helping me see that the real move might be up. All right. So just understanding that it's pretty much two think about like two teams or two people, right? One has to fake the other one out. Obviously, we can't do anything about them, but they could do everything, well, not everything, but the best that they could to fool us. And they do a really good job at it. So our job is to learn how they do it so that we don't become or we don't stay, right? If you already are. I think all of us start out as being part of the food, um, the bait, the prey, and then we just gotta just use our observation skills enough to really observe what is, how could we not be um, taken advantage of? And one way could be, hey, spotting the range. Understand that range is range. Why would I expect the price to continue moving down if the price is still inside the range? Why would I expect the price to continue moving up if the price is still inside the range? So understand that there's a big difference between ranges and trends. Trends, trend, ranges, range. Learn how to confirm that with the price action, and that will save you a whole lot of stress. AVGO is my hitter. That's my hitter right there, secret. So it was bearish. Oh, wow. Tesla. Like I said, Tesla's looking good. I'm trying to think what was the better play, Tesla or MSTR? For the morning, you got to compare the premiums, and then the day isn't finished yet. And then going into tomorrow, that's what goes through my mind, right? Even if I pick 5 good setups, I'm thinking, hey, which was the best one? Which was the worst one? Even though they was all good. And that's just how you observe and get better at observing. That's all we are in this market: observers, speculators. But most people speculate with their opinions rather than speculating with technical analysis. And that's how things end up going left. Oh, yeah. Things are pretty solid. I'm not gonna lie. Like, this is consolidating. But if you take a look at this push up and where it's consolidating above the range. It's holding it. It's clean. It's nice. MicroStrategy, it kind of reminds me of Nvidia before everyone caught on. At once upon a time, Nvidia was $230 before the whole split. I think when I first found out about Nvidia, it was $230. I'm telling not 230, but in the 200s. I remember, I want to say 166 is something that I remember seeing on Nvidia, and this is before the split. So remember, Nvidia went all the way up to like 1300. Where's Nvidia at now? Nvidia. Yeah, 140 something. Because this is after the split, so this is really like $1,400. And this, yeah, like I said, it used to be, yeah, really low. So the reason why I'm saying this looks like Nvidia is because the price action is clean. That's it, right? And it has momentum. Is a really good company. Premiums move really good, meaning if you get into a trade and it moves up $1, $2, you're gonna get paid a good amount, rather than the price of the stock moving $1 to $2 and you get paid nothing or even in a loss because your option decayed. So options could be stressful if you don't really know how to use them. CPA's on point, man. He got the Tesla calls. Tesla calls. Great. Honestly, I think if I didn't know as much as I knew about MSTR, Tesla was the best play this morning. It was the best play. I did see. I can't really call it like a target because I really think it could just keep going. But 260 is very reasonable. It's right there. 275 would be like the next. I wonder if it could reach that target. 300 a little far for right now, even though it could get there this year. But just take in consideration any potential pullbacks. So we are using a 4-hour 50 EMA, which is bearish, right? But we're still inside a range, which is neutral. This range and this overall range. So, it's not the easiest day for knowing where the direction is going, but on Tesla it is. CPA is having a good time. He's like, yo. I could buy me a new Tesla with this Tesla. So it's crazy. Tanny would not be surprised, but I am gonna head to my side door to grab my Uber Eats order really quick. Got some waffles. Waffles. Be right back. Keep an eye on SPY. Make sure that the market doesn't crash on us. Be back. Thank you. I just want to thank you. We are back in action. So I actually went to the gym this morning and I didn't eat. Right. So I am gonna go and fix up. It's a quinoa waffle. Right? It's a quinoa waffle. Tastes a lot better than it sounds. I'm gonna throw some walnuts, bananas, strawberries, some little bit of kiwi, some agave, and it's a wrap. Then I'll have some more fuel to sit here and deal with all this wackiness. But until then, I'm gonna go prepare myself something. I'm gonna leave this up, right? And I'm up. Yeah, I'm gonna come back. I just don't know how long, right? Um, but yeah, we got my micro strategy, right? I'm gonna make sure I update you guys on micro strategy. If you want to know anything about Tesla, holla at CPA. He got you, right? SMCI coin is very interesting. How coin isn't really doing much. It's weird how the Bitcoin ETF isn't really doing as much, but MicroStrategy is. So let's take a look at Bitcoin one last time. Now, what we're doing is we're going through different markets and updating ourselves to learn how they're moving together, right? One might be going up, one might be going down, but once we see they're both going in the same direction, bingo, right? That increases the probability. So that's what we're looking for. You don't have to do this all day long, right? But I enjoy doing this. So yeah, I'll do it when I like doing it, which is probably all the time. But eventually, like I said, you get tired and you gotta tap back into real life, realize you gotta eat, realize you gotta breathe, realize you gotta move, right? So it's a balance. You're starting to see some movement off the 50 EMA. So yeah, send some questions. If anything, I'll answer it when I get a chance. And then you guys got the Discord too, so don't forget, throw some questions in the Discord. Throw some charts, throw some profits, throw some losses, or whatever. Um, you know, keep things active, engaging, and we'll keep the show rolling. Catch you guys when I come back. We're gonna keep this SPY. I like this SPY. It gives you the view of the range. MicroStrategy, I don't know if you guys are really in that. I don't know if you guys are really that interested in it, but SPY and Tesla for sure. So I'll keep. I don't know if I like QQQ that much. Apple, but this is what I'll do. I'll just put Tesla. 5-minute chart. Wow. Can you believe it was at 212 just yesterday? So just because Tesla's going up, it doesn't mean, the rest of the market has to. So just keeping that in our awareness. And that is that. All right, guys. See you.
Come on.
Is what it is. Beat the lie.